It's exceedingly rare when the national media jabroni haircuts give the Minnesota Fighting Vikings the time of day. So you have to get the new analyst. Luke Kuechley, recently retired, former All-Pro linebacker, future probably first ballot Hall of Famer. Well, he's first ballot now after this take. You need to get guys like that just removed from the game. They're not part of the military sports industrial complex, right? So yeah, they can speak truth to power, and he spoke a lot of truth about the Vikings secondary, where the Vikings cornerback room and safety room heading into the draft needed a little bit of help, especially the cornerback room. But now Luke Kuechly put on the table, man. So in one of these typical off-season hashtag content roundtable discussions, they asked who was going to be the NFL's best secondary in 2022. Now, Booger McFarland said the Buffalo Bills, respect. And Luke Kuechly said the Minnesota Fighting Vikings. Woo, woo. Here's what he said. I'm going to go with the Vikings. Harrison Smith, Patrick Peterson, two young rookies, Lewis Cine out of Georgia, and they drafted Booth out of Clemson. I think when you talk about young guys coming into the league, I think the one important thing is where do they learn from and who do they learn from? You learn from two guys that have played at all pro levels for such a long time. So Kuechly is really hammering, the mentor, mentee, apprentice, craftsman, apprentice relationship, I guess. So there you go. He's really hammering on that, and does make sense. And the Vikings draft is sexy as hell because mentioned Lewis Cine at 32. I think that he will be the eventual replacement for Harrison Smith. I think he'll play a lot as a rookie too, even though Cameron Bynum Cam Beasy is certainly going to have a role as well. Andrew Booth Jr. might be the steal of the draft because he fell because of injury concerns, and if he can get healthy and if his core muscle surgery is good to go, he could start for the Vikings right away, and he may not come out of the starting lineup for the Vikings for a decade plus. That's how good Andrew Booth Jr. friggin' is, man. Also, Caleb Evans. He didn't even mention Evans in the fourth round. I think that he certainly could become something as well. And the Vikings hammering in the secondary, where he had 3 picks in the top 120 in the secondary, 3 other top 5 picks going there as well. And it does, to a degree, remind me of the Niners 1981 draft, where they hammered the secondary, because everyone talks about how the Niners, it was all offense of Bill Walsh. But the Niners defense was pretty damn legit too, man. I mean, Jumpin' George Seifert coordinated some good defenses. And 1981 was where they hit a turning point, because before that, the Niners, they were having tryouts every single week and having guys down from the Piggly Wiggly and guys coming in from factories just like, hey, can you play cornerback? Please, can you play cornerback for the San Francisco 49ers? And then they're just like, F it, we're going to hammer. They took Ronnie Lott, cornerback safety, and then you got Eric Wright and Carlton Williamson, 2 fantastic defensive backs from back in the day. Also, they spent a 5th-round pick on Lynn Thomas, so they really went after it. And the Vikings, to a large degree, really went after the pin as well, because Kuechley, things can sync up where you have positions of need as well as BPAs. Lewis Cine at 32, BPA. You could make a good case. Same thing with Andrew Booth at 42. Maybe even Evans at 118. There was a reason why Kuechley was so motivated and gave up a future 4th rounder to trade up with his guy, Andrew Berry of the Browns, to go up and get Evans at the top of day 3. And you look at the Vikings secondary depth. I mean, Patrick Peterson played well last season. Hopefully he can stay healthy all year. And also, I think that he was phenomenal being a mentor to these young cornerbacks in the Vikings room. I think that Booth and Evans in there with Dantzler, Harrison Hand, as well as Chris Boyd, the young nucleus, I think that he will have a positive influence. And Kuechly didn't even mention, hey, adding Shondon Sullivan, coming over from the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers, can play competent slot cornerback, where I mean, the Vikings had a lot of problems last year. Mack in the slot was one of the storylines that wasn't talked about a lot because we like Mack, but he was not good. He was simply not good last year. So Shondon, Nate Hairston coming over from the Broncos, experience with Ed Donatel. Harrison Hand can play in the slot as well, so hopefully that is on lock. And hopefully Cameron Tiny Dancer, he switches number 3. Great. Hopefully in year 3, he can step up. And safety room, as we misspell Harrison Smith's name again, actually, we're just going to keep that. It's going to become a running joke and a meme. It's like how we accidentally labeled the specialist as a 5-techs. Yeah, we are putting Greg Joseph and Andrew Berry, not Andrew Berry. We're putting Jordan Berry down on the defensive line, man. Getting it, man. But Harrison, Cameron Bynum, Lewis Cine, that triumvirate might be the best 3 safety look in the National Football League, and Donatel would be remiss if he didn't incorporate it. And he said, and O'Connell said, that there is going to be times when all 3 of them are on the field. So Kuechly might be right. Kuechly might have a point, and this is not just pure homerism, but it is interesting that the national media, someone who's objective, Kuechly has no ties to the Vikings. He's just calling a spade, is that, hey, the Vikings massively invested in the secondary. They have 2 future Hall of Famers, or Harrison should definitely be in the Hall, in the secondary, who still have some tread on the tire, who can teach them the ropes. And guess what? The pass rush, man, because the Vikings were second in the league last year with 51 sacks. That was largely without Daniil, and that was without Zadarius Smith. And now you have this new defensive scheme that's going to prioritize getting heat on the quarterback. We're after that ass, Jimmy. So that is, pass rush is a secondary's best friend. So even if everything is just a half a second quicker, that's just going to make everything easier on the back end. You're going to have more errant passes. You're going to have more off-target throws, have more opportunities for interceptions, and get it, man. I'm fired up. Kuechly, you're my boy, the pride of Boston College. Represent. Let's go. But your thoughts are thoughts. Luke Kuechly, Vikings could have the best secondary in the National Football League in 2022. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts, on his thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.